It's a common belief in the business world that you must have money to make money. What if we told you that one of the largest sportswear firms in the world started with nothing at all? That's right, Nike, the famous brand that athletes all over the world wear, started from humble beginnings. Let's explore how Nike was established with $0. Part 1, The Beginning. Phil Knight was a track athlete at the University of Oregon, where he developed a passion for running. He visited Japan in 1964 after receiving his MBA from Stanford Management School when he spoke with representatives of the Onitsuka Company, a producer of sports shoes. He convinced them to let him import and distribute their shoes in the United States after being impressed by the caliber of their goods. When Knight arrived back in the US, he co-founded Blue Ribbon Sports with Bill Bowerman, his old trainer. From the trunk of Knight's car, the two of them began selling Onitsuka shoes to high schools and track meets around the nation. Knight's expertise as a runner gave him the initial inspiration to bring Onitsuka Tiger sneakers to the United States. He observed that the shoes on the market in the US did not meet the same quality standards as those he had seen in Japan. Knight believed that the Onitsuka Tiger sneakers may fill a void in the American market because they were well made and reasonably priced. It was difficult for Knight in the beginning to market the Onitsuka Tiger shoes. He encountered resistance from merchants who were hesitant to stock a new and unproven brand, and he found it challenging to balance the duties of running a business with his MBA studies at Stanford. But despite these challenges, Knight remained committed to his vision of building a successful shoe company. He started to recognize the athletic shoe market's potential for expansion and thought he could start a business that would completely transform the sector. As soon as runners started wearing the shoes, Knight understood he had hit a rich market. He started to consider how he could grow the company and make it into something more significant. Part 2, The Betrayal. Knight and Bowerman encountered a significant setback as they worked to launch their new business when they discovered that Onitsuka planned to terminate their partnership and launch his own distribution network in the US. Blue Ribbon Sports had based its entire business on selling Onitsuka shoes, thus this was a huge blow to them. Knight was devastated. He had devoted all of his time, effort, and resources to developing his company, but suddenly it appeared like everything was collapsing. Instead of giving up, he made the courageous choice to launch his own shoe business. Knight appealed to his father for a $500 loan to start a new business named Blue Ribbon Sports because he had no money to invest in a startup. In a small office they established in Oregon, Knight and Bowerman started creating their own shoes. Onitsuka, though, wasn't content to ignore the rich US market together. They started selling shoes directly to US merchants, undercutting Blue Ribbon Sports prices and removing Knight and Bowerman's chances of competing. Knight knew that he had to act fast if he was going to save his business. To negotiate a new distribution agreement, he traveled to Japan to meet with Onitsuka executives. But he discovered that they had little interest in cooperating with him. In truth, they were no longer interested in doing business with Blue Ribbon Sports because they had already created their own subsidiary in the US. Knight left Japan feeling betrayed by Onitsuka and came back to the US determined to find a solution to preserve his business. He gave his business everything he had, yet it seemed like every challenge was working against him. But Knight refused to back down. Even in the face of what seemed to be overwhelming challenges, he was passionate about carrying out his vision for Nike. He invested all of his money in creating and promoting the Nike brand while also assembling a team of attorneys to defend him in court. Knight's perseverance ultimately paid off. Nike won the lawsuit and was permitted to carry on business. Part 3, The Risk. Just when things seemed roughest, Knight received a call from a wealthy investor named John Johnson. Johnson was impressed by Knight's determination and vision and agreed to invest $50,000 in Blue Ribbon Sports. Knight and Bowerman realized they were taking a big risk when they started producing their own shoes. They were competing against well-known companies like Adidas and Puma and had minimal resources and no prior expertise in the shoe manufacturing industry. Knight and Bowerman were able to grow their business and create new goods thanks to this increased finance. After giving the business a new name Nike in honor of the Greek goddess of triumph, they also started a marketing effort that would completely alter the way sports shoes were promoted and sold. Nike developed cutting-edge marketing strategies that focused on the emotional and psychological advantages of wearing their products rather than merely the practical ones. They capitalized on the deep-seated drive for success and victory shared by many athletes and positioned themselves as a company that could support their endeavors. Knight invested heavily in advertising and sponsorships. He hired Weeden plus Kennedy, a young advertising firm, to create a marketing strategy that would appeal to customers. The ensuing advertising campaign, which included the now iconic "Just Do It" tagline, contributed to Nike becoming known as a company that stood for grit, perseverance, and athleticism. The "Just Do It" marketing campaign, which debuted in 1987, was one of Nike's most effective ones. The "Just Do It" tagline was included at the end of a series of commercials that portrayed sportsmen in action. The advertisement resonated with consumers and spread like wildfire, making Nike the undisputed leader in the athletic shoe industry. But Nike's success was not only a result of their advertising campaigns. In order to enhance the functionality of their shoes, they introduced new technologies like air cushioning and flywire while concentrating on product innovation and quality. By putting an emphasis on innovation and quality, Nike was able to stand out in a crowded market and become a leader in the athletic shoe sector. Despite the dangers of beginning a new business and going up against well-known companies, Nike's tenacity and willingness to take chances paid off. With a market worth over $200 billion, Nike is currently one of the most popular and well-known companies in the world. The success of entrepreneurship, tenacity, and creativity is demonstrated by the tale of how Nike started with $0. Part 4: The Triumph. Despite the risks, setbacks, and betrayals, Nike's determination and perseverance paid off, and Nike became a global phenomenon. Nike became a major player in the athletic shoe market thanks to their emphasis on innovation, quality, and marketing. They kept introducing new innovations, which exploded into popular culture in the 1990s. By the mid-1980s, the company had surpassed Adidas and become the world's leading athletic shoe manufacturer. Nike's ability to keep ahead of the competition by constantly innovating and adapting to shifting market trends was one of the keys to its success. The firm continued to make significant investments in marketing and sponsorships while introducing new shoe styles, materials, and technologies that enhance performance and comfort. One of Nike's most significant triumphs came in 1984 when the company signed a then unknown basketball player named Michael Jordan to an endorsement deal. Jordan went on to become one of the most legendary players in history, and his connection to Nike helped position the company as the market leader for basketball shoes. Nike also kept coming up with new ideas in other fields, like clothing and accessories. It debuted the Nike Air technology in 1987, which included air cushioning in the shoe's sole to give athletes more comfort and support. But Nike's success extended beyond its shoe division. They began collaborating with well-known sportsmen like Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and Serena Williams as they grew into additional lines of athletic gear and accessories, including shirts, luggage, and equipment. Nike's success also gave them the opportunity to lead the way in sustainability and corporate social responsibility. In order to manufacture fresh materials for use in the next products, they created a program known as the Nike Grind, which recycles used footwear and other products. In order to guarantee that their suppliers produced their goods in an ethical and responsible manner, they also created a code of conduct for them. Nike is one of the most popular and well-known brands in the world right now. They are well known throughout the world and enjoy a devoted following of patrons who are enthusiastic about their goods. Its dedication to innovation, quality, marketing, and corporate responsibility has given them a competitive edge in a crowded market as well as a strong brand identity. The story of how Nike started with $0 serves as a powerful lesson in the value of persistence, inventiveness, and risk-taking in entrepreneurship. Anyone who wants to establish their own business can be inspired by Nike's determination to take chances and pursue his ideas despite what seem to be insurmountable challenges. Let's not forget the remarkable story that led to this iconic brand's success and the people who created it.